The NHL trade deadline has come and gone. Which teams made out well and which teams struck out? Hey everyone, welcome into a trade deadline edition of Off the Post. Rob Wong, joined alongside by Postmedia hockey insider Bruce Garrioch. And Bruce, a wild day for NHL teams, most notably the Vegas Golden Knights, who sneak in a deal right at the trade deadline, acquiring Tomas Hertl from the San Jose Sharks. What a deadline it was for them. They also get Noah Hanifin and Anthony Mantha. They are the clear story over the last week or so. What do you make of the moves that they made?
Well, one thing with the Vegas Golden Knights is that they always make bold moves at the deadline. And I honestly believe that if they could have done more, they probably would have tried. I look at the Vegas Golden Knights, Rob, and I say they always go for it. Obviously, getting Tomas Hertl at the 11th hour of the deadline is just, it's not only great drama, but they've also got a player who, yes, he struggled with injuries this year, but I think he can help them repeat as, win the Stanley Cup again. I look at them right now and I say, wow, this team came into the league in 2016, and they've been very bold at the deadline. I go back to 2019 when they picked up Mark Stone at the deadline from Ottawa. And they have always been the type of team that's gone for it, getting Noah Hanifin, probably the best defenseman available at this trade deadline. They were able to get him. Anthony Mantha is a good pickup for him. So I look at the Vegas Golden Knights right now, and and I know they'll probably also get a little bit healthy before the playoffs begin, and they are absolutely the big winners.
Now, some of the Canadian teams made some moves, and most notably the Winnipeg Jets, of course, who get Tyler Toffoli from the New Jersey Devils. They also get Colin Miller in a separate trade, and before that, it was Sean Monahan a few weeks ago, of course, coming in from the Montreal Canadiens. But when you look at the whole landscape as far as the Canadian teams go, Bruce, what do you make of the moves that were made and were not made for a lot of these teams north of the border?
Well, I got to say, I'm really like what the Winnipeg Jets did in getting Toffoli and Monahan. And look, I go back to their junior days here in Ottawa when they were roommates and teammates, and I saw them play an awful lot of good hockey here with the Ottawa 67s. But Toffoli has won a Stanley Cup. He won a Stanley Cup with the Los Angeles Kings. This is his fourth Canadian team. He doesn't mind the pressure of playing in a Canadian market, and I look at them right now at the Winnipeg Jets, and I think they are a serious contender. And because they've got the goaltending, they've added some depth on defense, and they've got the forwards up front. And Rick Bowness took the Dallas Stars to the Stanley Cup final during the COVID year in 2020 during the tournament in Toronto. And I just like what the Jets have done. I look at some of the other Canadian teams. I know people are going to want to dump on the Toronto Maple Leafs for not making more moves. I'm not sure they had to. And just because they lost to the Boston Bruins on the eve of the trade deadline doesn't mean that anything can't happen in a 7-game series if they do end up playing them. I think there's probably some disappointment in Ottawa in that, they were trying to trade guys like Eric Brandstrom and Mark Kastelik and Dominic Kubalik, and they weren't able to move on from any of those players. I don't believe they were ever serious about moving Jacob Chychrun, but I think they did listen on him. I look around the league right now, and I think that the Montreal Canadiens did the right thing for Jake Allen, trading him to the New Jersey Devils, because I think they kind of felt like he's been a good veteran for them, and he's helped out their other two young goaltenders in Primo and Montembeault. So I think in the other Canadian markets, look, the Vancouver Canucks already made their move, before this happened. So I think they're probably happy. I think across the country, the Calgary Flames got as much as they could in return for their players. I think that the happiest team in Canada right now is probably Winnipeg. The most upset fan base, maybe our good friends with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And being from Ottawa, I can tell you there's probably some disappointment in Ottawa as well. But Ottawa has an off season and lots of time to fix whatever changes they want to make.
Yeah, plenty of moves on deadline day. That's going to add plenty of intrigue heading into the stretch drive here of the regular season. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. For Bruce Garrioch, I'm Rob Wong. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time.